Welcome to Jurassic Park.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Why don't we just wait here for a little while?
Do you want to know what it is?
There's no knowing where you might be swept off to.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Shepherds we shall be, for thee, my Lord, for thee.
I don't know. I'm making this up as I go.
There's a special rug in hell reserved for people who waste good scotch.
He peed on my rug!
He peed on the dude's rug.
Do your worst.
Final report of the commercial starship Nostromo.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Welcome to Your Feature Presentation, the podcast where we bring you the latest and greatest movies in pop culture. Today we are talking Star Wars announcements, the Minecraft movie, Chicken Jockey, and The Last of Us review bombing. What's going on? Time will tell. With me is the ever-present, ever-faithful, matinee maniac, misogynistic, maniacal man, Andrew McKay.
Adding to all of everything. I love that I am like omnipresent now. The always near, ever close, whether you want it or not. Andrew McKay.
He's that uncle that said he was going to stay for a week, and he lives here now.
It's been 4 years.
All right, Andrew, we have a ton of stuff. Let's jump right into our Star Wars news. Star Wars Celebration Japan was this past weekend, and they had a bunch of new projects they were announcing. They announced some ongoing things that are like people thought was coming. So there's a bunch of cool stuff. Let's just jump right into it. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
All right. So Japan 2025 Star Wars Celebration. And for those of you who don't know, Star Wars Celebration, it's basically like a Comic-Con that's focused on Star Wars.
Yeah.
To
celebrate it, you know?
To celebrate it. There's certain things that they get to see, kind of like Comic-Con, that isn't released to the public yet, which is cool. So, okay. So the big news is Star Wars. Well, we'll start off with movies. Star Wars Starfighter, which is a standalone film after The Rise of Skywalker, starring Ryan Gosling. That's pretty crazy. Yeah. The Mandalorian and Grogu movie, directed by Jon Favreau. Television series, we've got Maul, Shadow Lord. That's an animated series expected in 2026. Star Wars Visions, Volume 3. And then we have Star Wars Visions Presents The Ninth Jedi, which is a spinoff of from Vision Season 1. This is the one, it's like the black and white, shadowy,
yeah,
kind of very samurai style one.
With the Jedi parasol.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Jedi parasol. That's all you need. And then there's an untitled series by Damon Lindelof. And then we've got some video games. A lot to go over here. A lot of exciting stuff. Let's start off with this. What do you think, Andrew? What are you pumped about?
Top two, I think everyone's excited about these, is the Starfighter movie. Mm-hmm. I think Ryan Gosling is going to be a great addition to Star Wars, especially after his performance in 2049, the Blade Runner movie. Just like overwhelming praise for him, his acting, and his ability to step into a genre. I think of Ryan Gosling as like rom-com guy, and I think he's still that. Like he still has the ability. He was in Barbie, and I think of Notebook. Like those are the two things I think of. But he can do it. So I'm excited for Starfighter, and I'm excited for Sam Witwer in the Shadow of Maul Shadow Lord.
Maul Shadow Lord.
There it is. Maul Shadow Lord.
Maul Shadow Lord.
That's going to be incredible.
Maul Shadow Lord.
Maul Shadow Lord.
Maul Shadow
Lord. Just the, like, where Lucasfilm Animation started and how it has steadily gone upward and now is, like, pushing the bounds of animation with the style of their Clone Wars series that got a lot of crap in the beginning.
Yeah.
I think it's just incredible. Like, they really seems like they've perfected it with the last season of Clone Wars. Some of the still shots in the Bad Batch, like, you could just take a screenshot and hang it on your wall. Like, it's incredible, the things they're doing. And the word on the street is that it's even better. The animation is, like, another step up. So I'm pumped for probably the most for Shadow Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be really interesting. It's crazy too. Yeah, Clone Wars I think started off. I was there when it was written. Was it 2008?
I went to the movie theater to see
Yeah.
that movie, yeah.
So here's the sad part about that though. How old were you when you went to go see that movie?
I was 11.
You were 11. I was 18. Okay. I have never felt more uncomfortable going to that movie. I went with friends, so that I guess that was a little cool. But no, I remember being like, feels really kiddish.
Yes.
And it was weird seeing it in theater. I think if it would have felt so different just streaming, I think George Lucas was like, I'll push it in the theaters and then you'll go home and watch the show. But I was just like, the movie, it was just so jarring and it didn't really like jump in. But then the first episode of the Clone Wars with like the Yoda was like trying to see how many like battle droids a Jedi was worth, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It really got you into it. And I think that was such a better place to start that series.
Yeah, it felt like the movie should have been a Cartoon Network exclusive movie.
Yeah.
Where they're like, hey, airing on Cartoon Network is this whole movie. Because I remember leaving the theater, or like the movie ended in the theater, and there was some sort of, I don't know if it was an announcement or a thing that was like, hey, the Clone Wars is coming back, and it's an animated TV show. Mm-hmm. I was like, what? Oh, okay. I thought this was just a movie. Like,
yeah.
All right.
And to be honest, too, I think I was still a little hurt coming off of the not like continuation of the original Clone Wars cartoon, the Samurai Jack style.
Good.
Oh man. So, and that was so cool to me. And that was so like, I don't know, just, it was done so well. It was exciting. It was like just epic. And it was like ridiculous epic. Like I still remember the one where like Mace Windu fights a droid army without his lightsaber. Yeah. And it's just like so over the top. And it's like, oh, amazing. And that one I really enjoyed as well. But then this new Clone Wars, the way it started, I think was like some fumbled, and they went right into like weird stuff, like R2-D2 being called R2-y and like all those cliche things. But it's like, it's really hard to take. And Ahsoka has become such a fan favorite character, but
one of the best. Yeah.
There's this little girl calling my beloved R2-D2 something like R2-y. And I'm like, I just can't, I couldn't get on board.
Or calling Anakin Sky Guy. You're
yeah.
Like, well, we get over it. We take the punches, and we're like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
like, there's still things to love about this.
And it's weird because that kind of stuff, I think, like it just didn't bother me as the series continued. But then the series became so much deeper. I mean, it's like, okay, the Sky Guy comment and that kind of stuff. Like, it's like that's how it starts off, and the battle droids are full on. I feel like there's a falling off of the intensity of battle droids in the prequels. Like episode 1, battle droids are semi-scary. And by the time we get to episode 3, what are you doing here? Why, you little astro droid? I'm gonna get you. You know, it's just like
comic relief.
Yeah. And it's just like, that was so interesting the way that was handled. Which I love that in the cartoon, how it was, they made those like assassin droids, like they're like a covert battle droid that were like more intense and stuff like that. But I don't know. So there was a lot there, but to me, I'm excited about this animation. Darth Maul is such a cool character. So I'm 100% on board with that. It'll be interesting to see where they go. Mandalorian Grogu, I'm also very excited for. I think
very true.
I would say season 1 and 2 were amazing. Season 3 fell off, but I'd like to rewatch that because I'm like, why did it fall off? It's almost like I don't remember. I was just like, that was not the same quality level. And I kind of think it was, which Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau is such a good director, but I feel like we really saw how much Dave Filoni was involved with Mandalorian, and I think he stepped way back to focus on Ahsoka. I feel like that's what kind of happened, why Mando season 3. And I also think the Book of Boba Fett really hurt Mandalorian season 3.
There was still some residual sting.
Yeah. I mean, some of the best Mandalorian episodes are in the Book of Boba Fett. Yeah. Like him building a starfighter, all that whole episode where it's just Mando, when he confronts the armorer, say like, I took off my helmet, I need to buy build a starfighter. All that happens in the Book of Boba Fett. And if that had been in season 3, that would have just beefed up that season so much. So it's like, you gave your good stuff to Book of Boba Fett, and then I don't know. So I think there was a lot of issues, but regardless, this movie is directed by Jon Favreau. We love Mandalorian and Grogu, and I think they're going to even this is the priority now too. They're going to really step it up, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, we've got a little call in. So from our friend Joey Halleck, who was on our last Jedi episode. I'm sorry. I inhaled a little bit there. I've started taking helium. So
great.
The Last Jedi
Reversing
episode.
helium.
Yeah. I thought you were giving me the sign that cops were coming.
Is this the universal sign for cops?
Or just the pat the head, hey, cops are coming.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. It's a motorcycle thing.
Sorry.
Okay, so let's play the recording of Joey Halleck with his thoughts on Star Wars announcements.
Hey guys, really excited with all the announcements from Star Wars Celebration. Probably the biggest thing that I'm excited for is Andor Season 2. It wasn't a new announcement, but it's just starting now, and I feel like that's just going to kick off next couple months, and it's going to, when I'm recording this, it'll be this week. So I'm really excited for that. Out of all the new announcements, though, honestly, probably Mando and Grogu movie. Just seeing a little bit of that was awesome. And just knowing that I know those characters, so I'm a little more excited for that than I am the Starfighter. Although Starfighter, 50th anniversary of Star Wars, I hope that's going to be great. I mean, we don't really know anything about it yet, not really. I'd love to see some footage of that. Maybe next year, probably over the summer, they might do a sneak preview for it. We'll see. But the Mando and Grogu is probably the biggest thing that I'm just very excited for, because that's coming out May of next year, in 2026. So love those characters. I hope they keep the spirit of the first 2 seasons of the show. Third one was okay, but I really just hope they get back to the roots with season 1, season 2, and have a really awesome ride. Some of the other stuff didn't really care about too much. The Outlaw DLC, some of the really young Jedi stuff, right? That it's for really little kids. I mean, if you have kids, it's going to be great, I'm sure. But and then the Maul animated. I love Star Wars animation. I just love it. Even if it's not my favorite story, I love the animation. It really got me into Star Wars a lot more when I was 13, 14. Just kind of kept me along that path when Clone Wars and everything was coming out. So I just like it a lot. So anytime we get more Maul, I love it. And I can't wait to see the art just continue and the art style to continue to evolve and just get better and better. So I'm super excited. I thought it was a great celebration, and I can't wait to talk more of the wars with you guys.
Thanks, Joey. Yeah, we didn't even talk about the video game stuff, but Star Wars video games to me are not really exciting me at the moment. If there was another Jedi Survivor or something like that, I would start getting pumped. But nothing crazy like that happened. But that was cool just to hear from Joey about what he was thinking about the new upcoming things. Something I was wondering about Maul is, what timeline is this going to be? What chunk of his thing? My hope is that this Maul TV show takes us through everything from pre-episode 1 to his death. I would love that if we got the entire Maul story in animated form and it goes over his whole life, or that lifespan. But hold on.
You were saying pre-Phantom Menace.
Pre-Phantom Menace. So when he's trained with Sidious, and it's not like he has to spend years or decades in all of these things. We don't need a single episode, but there's a lot of cool stuff. But I feel like I would love to be able to say there's one Darth Maul thing that you can watch to see his whole story. I just think that would be really satisfying to me, because right now it's okay. How do you show someone Maul's story? Okay, you have to watch episode 1, you have to watch Clone Wars, and then you have to watch Solo, and then you have to watch Rebels, and you have to also read a comic book. So there's a comic book.
That was a great comic book, though.
It was amazing. What's it called? Do you remember? It's
Is it just called Maul or no?
No. Well, no, I'm talking about the one. It's Dark. Is it just Dark Saber?
It's like a 4 or 5 issue release, right?
We might be talking about two different things. So the one I'm talking about is the Darth Maul trade. Apologize.
Yeah.
As we look this up real quick.
Yeah, the one that I read was just called Darth Maul when Marvel acquired Star Wars.
Okay, so yeah, you're thinking of
2017.
the Maul. Yes, that's not actually what I'm talking about, but I've also read that. That's a great series. I'm talking about Darth Maul, son of Dathomir.
Oh, I've not heard.
Which we'll show you a cover right here.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, look it up though. I'll show it to our listener or our viewers, but it's awesome. It's basically so when Clone Wars ends with Maul's story, he's imprisoned by Darth Sidious, and this like basically finishes that storyline, and then it jumps. The next time we see him, it jumps way forward to Rebels. So I think there's a lot of like his story is just all over the place, and we don't really get the full idea of him. Like I think it's different because like someone like Obi-Wan is like, well, Obi-Wan's story is really the prequels, and there's a lot of side stories and comic books, and then he's in the original films. It's like, yeah, but if you have the prequels and the original films, you basically have his whole story in one format. And if you want to go deeper, but I feel like Maul's story is scattered because
Super scattered.
As a big Star Wars fan, I don't know where his cameo in Solo, where that fits in his timeline.
Well, yeah, that one's tough because I think they were planning on a lot more with him.
Right. Which is probably what we're going to get in this show.
That's what I'm hopeful for. I'm hopeful that we can get the show that takes place between his last stint, like right before / into Order 66 from the final Clone Wars show. We can pick up around there, see what happens to him, and lead us into Rebels, or like some sort of situation close to Rebels, so that we can have more answers with that. That would be, I think, the most interesting. Like he runs a crime syndicate that is pretty successful and widespread. Like, tell me more about that. But that brings up a second question that I have. Did you experience some disappointment when they announced the Maul show as an animated show and not a live action Maul?
I didn't even think about that until you mentioned that.
You didn't?
Sorry,
I mentioned it.
Okay, so let me... I've got a lot to say about that. No, let me wrap up my thought real quick with basically, please. I hope they give us a whole story. I don't think that's what we're getting whatsoever. I think we're going to get a small section of Maul's life in the storyline, probably Solo related. That makes the most sense because it's very ambiguous, like between Clone Wars and Rebels. And then like I think that's where Solo takes place. So I think that's what we're going to get. I never thought about a Maul TV show being live action, and that would be incredible.
It would be really, really incredible, especially considering the high level of lightsaber fights that we've seen in the stellar, amazing TV show called Acolyte that you should go watch. But that honestly, best lightsaber fights since Revenge of the Sith, obviously, were in the Acolyte. I don't think you can deny that.
Whoa. Okay, hold on. Say that again and let me think about it.
Best live action lightsaber dueling since Revenge of the Sith was in the Acolyte.
Post Revenge of the Sith.
So episodes 7, 8, 9 do not compare to the lightsaber duels in the Acolyte. It's a fact.
Wow. You shook me.
I know. You can stew on it if you want.
Well, so I'll stew on it.
Okay.
You say your thing.
I think a positive of my hope for Sam Witwer coming out. I saw him at the celebration and I was like, Maul stuff, great. This means it's animated. which is cool. I love it. I love Sam Witwer. I think he's one of, like, for a good reason, he's one of the staple actors in the Star Wars universe because he's done so well. But there's a piece of my heart that wants Ray Park to be Darth Maul again, and like see Darth Maul live action and do some crazy cool in-person stunt coordinated like lightsaber fights that blow my mind. Animated is really cool. Animated is better when they get Ray Park, like in the last season of the Clone Wars, to come do mocap for that fight scene, right?
Yeah.
But it's not the same. And on the flip side, so that's what I would hope, like in a live action, I can see the negatives of it. That the voice of Maul is Sam. It has to be Sam. Sam dubbed for Maul in the solo story, right?
You're right.
So Ray Park was in the costume, and then Sam dubbed over for the voice. And I think that just is a reality. So that would really, really complicate it. Like, if you're going to do a live-action Maul, Sam has to be the voice. But he can't be... I don't think he can be the physical actor because Ray Park is still, like, in really good shape. Like, he can still do it. Yeah, so I think it is a better decision to do animated, but I was hoping for a live-action iteration again.
Yeah. Yeah, and I said it in our previous Star Wars episode, too. Like, I think we're ripe for... I think we're in the era right now of a little more ambiguous, of like the gray Jedi, the like the dark side user, and I still think my number one TV show would be a Darth Revan TV show. Or sorry, not Darth Revan, but I'd love a Darth Revan too. Yeah, give us Knights of the Old Republic. Oh my gosh, I'm mixing up my Darths. Darth Bane.
Oh, Darth Bane.
Bane. To be kind of that anti-hero because he's taking out all the Sith, so you could kind of root for him because he is,
Yeah, that'd be incredible.
And they could even kind of change it a little bit so where it's more of like, he's more of a moral Sith. He's the Jack Sparrow pirate, that as opposed to the, not acting like that, but you know what I'm saying? Like he's a bad guy, but not, he's got a good
cheated. Pirate.
Yeah, so I'm also really excited for the Ryan Gosling movie, honestly, because I think Star Wars, it's like KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Great advice. Hurts my feelings every time. That's from The Office, Andrew. So stuff it.
Never heard of her.
I think Star Wars is great when it has a simple concept. I think it's give us a movie starring a great actor that like is going to be about a bunch of space combat. Like, I think that's great potential. To me, it's like I don't know anything beyond that, but it's just like that seems like a movie that's going to be great. I think it's hard when you have like, we're going to have a movie about Rey after the Rise of Skywalker, and it's like that feels like a hard sell. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's like just sounding it out, being like, it's about a starfighter pilot in the Star Wars universe. Like, that sounds fun. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, historically, we fans really like more grounded, down to earth stories with the soldiers, the spies, right? Rogue One did really well.
Many Bothans died to give us this information.
Mon Mothma. So historically, those do really well. So I think it's a safe bet, but I think there's a chance that if the story guidelines, if the type of story they want to tell is more simplistic, that gives them more room and more energy to put into the writing, into the dialogue.
Yeah.
So even though it could be a pretty straightforward premise, I think that the chances of them not trying to juggle 3 or 5 big paid actors like the sequel trilogy and trying to give them all screen time and give them all meaningful parts. I think that if this is just straightforward, it gives them an opportunity to really like hit a home run for the writing, the dialogue, and why do we care about this character. So
Cool. Well, comment on what Star Wars you want to see. What announcements excite you? And if you comment that Disney sucks and you'll never watch it, I'm coming after you. All right?
I'm going to find you.
I would say to you, why are you still watching these videos? If you're done with Star Wars, done with Disney Star Wars, why are you still watching these videos?
Honestly, if this TikTok shows up on your page, then you're just in denial. If you're like, I hate Star Wars.
I hate Star Wars.
You're still searching the Star Wars hashtag, which is the reason you're watching this right now.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're lying to yourself.
No, I'm over my ex, but I'm just going to look at her Instagram real quick.
Exactly.
Just to see. She's dating you? Get over it. I don't know. We talked about that last time too, but just I don't understand those arguments of like Star Wars is over and ruined. But they're like, but then why are we talking about it? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think they're still good. And I'm the guy who's like, I hated the Acolyte, but you like the Acolyte. And so it's just like, I don't know. Just enjoy Star Wars. Enjoy Star Wars. All right, moving on. If you hate Star Wars and you're still here, we've got more for you.
You ever heard of the Minecraft movie?
Yeah. you like that, kid? Okay, so I would love to talk real quick just about my thoughts about the Minecraft movie. And then just kind of, we can both talk about the cultural significance of this movie, because I think that's more interesting. So this is just my real quick, spoiler-free, quick thoughts on Minecraft.
No spoilers, heaven forbid.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
It's such an intricate story, okay? Yeah, I thought it was really funny. I went with my wife and my sister-in-law, and we laughed out loud at the movie. It's light. It's fun. It's Jack Black, Jason Momoa. I think the kid actors are pretty bad in it. And if you ever do watch it, you can see there's one scene specifically. They're in the mushroom house, and it cuts from the two siblings being like, I'm glad you're okay. And then Jack Black, we know he's outside. And then it jumps back to them having a conversation, and Jack Black is holding bread. Like, 100% they just cut out something, and it's so odd. It's so weird. It's like the most obvious edit I've ever seen. I'm like, he wasn't holding bread. Okay, whatever.
It's like the toast from Nacho Libre.
Yeah.
Like half eaten, and then the next shot, it's like, it's only one bite gone, and then it's 3 bites gone, and then it's 1 bite gone.
Good toast. I liked the movie. I thought it was, fun. It was light. Nothing amazing. I'm not going to like rewatch it a bunch. The animation, I think, was really good in it. We are in this era of everyone saying like, what happened to this old animation? You know, why is it sucking? And I think a lot of it is just, I don't know enough about it, honestly, but I know it's because of money, but I don't know why it's gotten more expensive and it looks worse. That's the part that I don't understand. Like, there's so many videos on that, and I still don't understand them. But they used a lot of practical sets, like the grass and trees, and then all the characters, like the villagers, the creepers, all that kind of stuff. Like, they look really good. And I don't know, as a Minecraft player from back in the day, I was like, I don't know, I found it humorous. So I'd say it's like middle of the road, nothing crazy, but really enjoyable. Now let's get into this crazy, what the heck is going on with our culture?
Yeah.
So you're a teacher, and so you have high school students that you hang out with regularly. You're a guy that hangs out with young children. Is that a good way to say that?
No, it's not a good way to say that.
Oh, how would you say it? Is there a better way?
I get paid to hang out with kids under 18.
Okay, that's how we'll say it.
Their parents pay me to do it.
Yeah, so like, what's the kind of vibe you're getting from them?
The vibe is that it's a hilarious movie. Well, actually, correction, the vibe is that it's a funny movie, but what is infinitely more hilarious is going to the movie and pretending that it is the comedy movie of the century.
That's so Gen Z.
And that's genuinely, it's like the bit is that this is the greatest movie to ever hit cinemas, and every single person in the theater is in on it.
Yeah.
Like, you think that like going to Avengers Endgame was like, oh, we're all in this together. We're all experiencing the same thing. You knock it up 3 levels, and that's what these kids are experiencing with the Minecraft movie, because everyone buys a large popcorn. People bring in rotisserie chickens, like cooked whole chickens, and they just lay in wait, because the chicken jockey scene is like 15 minutes before the movie ends. It's the end of the movie.
Latter half for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So people are holding on to all this stuff, and they just start throwing everything.
Yeah.
One of my students works at a movie theater, and at the weekend after it released, I talked to him. I said, "Hey, buddy, how was the weekend?" And he was like, "I'm so tired. I cleaned theaters, every Minecraft theater, for 7 hours. Just going." He was like, "I found at least one rotisserie chicken every showing. Well, like a piece of it up in the front, like the tallest seat, a piece of it up there. And then the body of the rotisserie chicken was at the screen. So someone absolutely just cooked that chicken all the way through the whole theater, and just chicken juices everywhere, popcorn everywhere." And he was like, genuinely, probably 75% of the people that have gone to see the Minecraft movie have not seen the ending because they get kicked out.
Wow.
And like that's the theaters are just like, "Hey guys, welcome to the movie. If you're disruptive, we'll stop the movie," and everyone gets kicked out. I don't care who did what. If you go crazy, everyone's leaving. And they just did that all day, Saturday, Sunday, just kicking out entire theaters.
Yeah.
It's insane.
That is insane. So that it's cracking me up too, that idea of it does feel like I'm the old guy talking about young kids and what they're doing at movies. What are them whippersnappers doing? With that joke, that's an old person joke to say that. That's not a young person joke. But that is hilarious to me. I am totally in on the humor of like going to the movie theater and pretending it's the funniest movie you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like that is so funny to me. It's hard because I'm like, stop trashing stuff. But I will say something as a business owner for those people who are tired and, okay, you're cleaning, which isn't the funnest job, but I'm also like, you're paid hourly. You know what I mean? Like, let's take a breath, right. That's my feelings. Might be harsh, but I'm like,
The upside is that you get paid more because you probably stay a little late. The downside is that it seems like people don't respect your workplace.
Yeah, exactly. And that's tough, but it's like, I don't know, but it's so crazy. Because I think this movie is, one of the most brilliant marketing campaigns I've ever seen. I think we all saw, I think me and you talked about this. We saw the original trailer and like, this looks stupid.
Yeah.
It's like the only thing that has going for it is that Jack Black's in it.
Right.
But then they literally switched gears completely and made all these like fake viral videos.
Yeah.
Making it like top 5 memeable moments from the Minecraft movie, the chicken jockey, like all this different stuff. But like they were doing that. It's not like movie people or people making memes. It was like the company was making it. I'm like, that was crazy.
Well,
and then
who it is the Gen Z intern who runs the Warner Brothers TikTok page is like, guys, this would be like insanely hilarious. And they just do it.
Yeah.
And it lands.
Yeah. And it's just like, we're in such a mode of movies failing and movies not doing well. And it's just like, this movie is going to go down. I think this is like, to me, I don't know why, but I thought about this as a movie kind of like a Happy Gilmore. It's a comedy movie that if you saw it when you were growing up, it's just like, oh yeah, like it's nothing really, but it's like, it was amusing. And what this has done to culture, I think is so hilarious. And just, I don't know, I find it really interesting.
Yeah, it's something else.
Yeah, it's something else. It is something else. And I know you deal with this in a different way, Mr. Teacher, but okay, let's switch over to, let's talk about our stuff now, okay? That was Minecraft stuff, which I'll say this, Minecraft, one more thing about Minecraft in general.
Yeah.
It's so weird to me because I bought the original beta for Minecraft so I think that would have been like 2009, 2000, somewhere in there. The original beta that basically you bought your account, it was like $12, and then you could download Minecraft on your PC, and then you had it basically for free updates for life or whatever. So I was there originally when we were playing that, but Minecraft has grown so much that all these like jokes are like not me, which is so weird that it's not the game that's too like got it. The game is what I played, but the game has grown so much that all these jokes about specific things are stuff I never experienced.
Yeah, all the memes and jokes are the culture that has formed around the game.
Right.
So even
Which
though
is
you're
like
familiar
the new
with
stuff.
the base game,
Uh-huh.
yeah, Minecraft culture has been stewing and developing for 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
And like these kids, there are children, 14, 15, 16-year-old kids who sit at like, they don't sit in the lunchroom and talk with friends. They sit on the floor in the hallway and they watch Minecraft on YouTube. They watch just gamers play Minecraft on YouTube. And that's where the culture comes from. Like, there are people absolutely devoted to like Twitch Minecraft streamers.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
It's so much deeper than you think it is, than you know.
Gosh, I don't know. My daughter likes Frozen. That's all the only kid reference I know.
That's your life.
So,
That's your life.
yeah, that's who I am.
It has, at this point of recording, it has grossed $720 million.
Take that, Snow White.
So Snow White's $38 million.
All right. Well,
Anyway.
let's shift from Minecraft. I'd recommend if you were like, I want to go check it out. I think it's more in cult. It's one of those movies that I think you'll be amused by it, but it's also more important for like culture. You know, I just think it's one of those movies that's like, if you're a movie fan, like it's being talked about, you know. I almost went to go see Snow White for the same reason. Just like I want to have an opinion on it, but I decided not to. All right, switching to The Last of Us. Andrew, take it away.
Yeah, so we made reference when we were talking about Star Wars Starfighter. Hey, keep story simple. That maybe could give you some room to write some really good stuff that will happen inside of your A to B goal, right? That's a pretty good idea. That's a pretty good rule for a movie. Is like, let's know where we're going, A to B, and we'll keep it simple, and we can write some good characters, make people care about everything. So the opposite, like, approach you can take is we're going to tell a really complex story. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty details of every possible thing we can. And that's what's going to be compelling about it. It's going to be diverse. It's going to be, like, a lot of moving parts, really entertaining, right? If you do it well. This is what I think the Last of Us video games are. This is what I think The Last of Us show is. I think it's a near perfect video game adaptation into TV. They're taking pieces of the story that didn't make sense to expound on in the video game, and they're putting entire episodes into the show to build the lore, to make you care about all these people. Nick Offerman's episode, season 1, is a great example of that. That would not work in a video game. I don't want a Mary Jane kind of level. You replace the Sony Spider-Man game. The Mary Jane levels suck because I don't care about this character. I don't upgrade her stuff. She doesn't get better. I just play as her as like to take a beat away from Spider-Man, and then I come back and I enjoy it more. To play as Bill, who is Nick Offerman's character in the game, would not have made sense. But they got to tell a story because it's a show, and they can draw out all of that drama, all of the connections with the characters and everything, and make you care about who he is. And I got so upset after the premiere of the second episode. I knew what was going to happen because I played the game. And I thought
I was going to say, let's just make sure we are doing spoiler free.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. I knew what was going to happen in episode 2 because of the game, right? I had a feeling people were going to absolutely dog on it, like tank it, review bomb it. And that's what happened. I think the lowest point was like 50 or 52% on Rotten Tomatoes. The critic score was 95, 98. Really, really super high. And the audience score is just tanking. And I have a review that I think it's like everything combined into one. This person expressed all of the stupid reasons to hate the show. Like reasons that I don't think are real. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So he says, this first episode was very discouraging. The girl who has now become a teenager is even worse. She has the power to knock down a very strong man, make her adoptive father behave like a weak and idiotic man, and make matters worse, she has the ability to conquer the only beautiful woman in the entire series in a place full of men. What else will she do in this next episode? Help build the rocket to Mars? Ridiculous. Okay. First of all, a teenager being complicated and over-emotional and annoying is not unrealistic. I don't know what you're talking about. And now I'm talking to you, Antonio, who wrote this review.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
Ellie is an Ahsoka character. She's written to make poor decisions and be disliked. Okay? That's part of the intentional experience. Game to show. They do it. And it works. Okay? You're supposed to feel this way about her. You're not really supposed to like her. And she makes obvious, glaring mistakes. That's part of her character. Second beat. She takes down a grown man in like a little tussle, like practice sparring fight. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I don't get it. She's a little girl. Like, well, she's 19 and she's been training hand-to-hand combat for 5 years. 5 years. She can't just do a takedown on a guy. That would be unrealistic. Bring it back a little. Okay. The Joel stuff, that, like, people not getting why Joel is having a hard time in season 2 and is so, people are like, oh, he's neutered, he's weak, she's made him idiotic, he's like, wow, all this crazy nasty stuff. Some of the most, like, I don't have a word for it. Like, you're just not paying attention to the character. It's completely unfounded that Joel wouldn't have a hard time right now. The one person, this is season 1, not even really a spoiler because it's like episode 1. He loses his daughter, like beginning of episode 1, right? He finally gets his daughter, metaphorically, back, lies to her face when she tells him, never lie to me, do not lie to me, tell me the truth. He doesn't. And that absolutely rips his heart out, and she knows it. So their relationship, boom, down. He gets his daughter metaphorically back from the grave, and he ruins it, even though he protects her constantly and saves her life over and over and over again. The actions that he performs for Ellie will never make up. Well, they'll never put them back to normal because of the emotional debt that he's put on their relationship by lying to her. That will ruin anyone. If it doesn't ruin you, you're not a dad, you don't have a heart, like you don't understand like relationships and how they work. This makes total sense to me. I don't get why people have a problem with it. That's pretty much it. I don't understand. There's so many comments of people saying like Joel doesn't make sense. He's supposed to be the rough, tough guy who is emotionless. He's developing as a character. He's not static. Is that too insane? Like, can we not have a character that grows and changes because of the things happening around them? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay, I'll say this. The Acolyte lightsaber fight, I think, was done very well. I totally just remembered. I forgot to bring back. We're going to end the episode with that lightsaber fight. So if you've been hanging on, every word being like, Heath forgot to talk, I didn't forget. Okay, I'm going to push back a little bit.
Do it.
But I feel like we're on the same page, but there's some interesting things. There's a lot going on right now with the size of the fighters, like female, male, how many 20-pound girls are we going to say, take on a 300 whatever pound dude? That's right. Like, You know, like that's a thing that's happening right now. It's like, oh, like that guy's saying like that's ridiculous. Okay. I get to where it's not even about gender to me. It's about like weight. Like the UFC has weight classes. You know, like could he just like lay, like he could just flop over on her and like pin her? It's like maybe. So I guess I see the part of like the people that are angry like that. However, as movie fans, aren't we always on the side of it's not real life rules, it's movie rules. The more training you have, the better you are, and like the best trained person. The John Wick, like, can you take out 50 people in a nightclub? No, but he's really trained. So I guess people who make that guy's argument, you know, it is something that's like, but you kind of have to apply that to everything then too, right? Like you can't say, and isn't it more fun to be like, it doesn't matter your size or your gender, the more training you have, you can defeat anything. Like, isn't that kind of movie?
It's almost like size
stuff?
Matters not.
Size matters not.
But
it's powerful.
So in that vein, that communicates to me that the person hasn't, this is what really irks me, hasn't actually watched the show. Like you're complaining about some of the things happening in the show, but you're probably watching it through your phone while you're scrolling Instagram, and you go, a girl beat up a boy, unrealistic. Because in the show, she gets punched in the nose. I don't know if you've seen it. She gets punched in the nose by this guy. She's bleeding, and then she takes him down. And she's like, haha, gotcha. Like, I've been training for a long time, right? He goes, I held back. I let you do that. And she's like, what? What the heck? So, like, what are you even complaining about? Like, the win that you're so mad about, that she got to take him down, in the show, the dude is like, I let you do that. And she gets upset. Like, that's part of her character, right? But, like, what's so wrong about someone who's been training hand-to-hand combat for 5 years can do a takedown? Like, I don't see an issue with this.
Yeah. Some people I think are just going to be angry with whatever. To me, as someone who played this, like, what's it called? Volume 2? Part 2? Part 2. So I knew all this stuff was happening. Like, I know what's going to happen. To me, it's interesting because I'm watching it with my wife, and I'm like, I don't know when this happens or that happens or when we do that, but I know it's coming, and I don't know how it's fitting into the story. And I think it's cool because we get, like you said, different aspects, different characters, you know, different POVs. So that's really exciting to me. I did want to say something, too, about review bombing, because I do struggle when people say this was review bombed. Because if it's really that many people didn't like it, even if I don't agree, I still want them to be able to voice that.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, it's a 50% Rotten Tomato score, and most of it is because of this. But it feels like anytime there's going to be negative reviews, everyone's yelling review bomb.
Yeah, is this like the claim of our modern era, is that it has bad reviews because of AI review bombing? You're like, really? Does?
Yeah. Okay. Shut up, Andrew. You're Hitler. This episode was review bombed. We had a comment this week that compared Kathleen Kennedy to Hitler. And Andrew's response was, comparing Kathleen Kennedy to Hitler is literally insane.
Yeah, that was a no for me.
That was amazing. I love that. So I don't know. I guess I want people to be free to voice it. And if it's like that many people who are reviewers didn't like it, I want that to be voiced. And I think sometimes critics are out of place. I always like think of so many things where it's like it's critically regarded well, but people just didn't like it. You know, like I think there's a difference there.
Happen.
And I want people to be free, but what I don't like is when it's been like bot heavy, you know, like there's ways to say like, oh, well, this wasn't even reviewers, or people like have this organized takedown. So I don't know. It's tough because I feel like I always say, look at IMDb for reviews, look at Rotten Tomatoes, look at the critic and the score, and like meld those two, which I think it was like 90-50. So what is that? Average would be like what?
52.
It's like
It's
70.
still like 70 to
It's like 7 out of
78.
10, which and like, okay, so it's still good. Like, I just like don't get that like, let people say what they want to say. I totally get why you're upset about it, but at the same time, like, take the average, and that's probably what the show is.
I thought about the setup of the Rotten Tomatoes reviewing system, and I think because of this, because people should have a spot to do their half-star reviews, their 1 star out of 5 reviews, right? I'm glad that there are critic separate and people separate reviews, because that is a big indicator to me of like, do I love this genre or this actor? Yes, I'm probably going to watch it if one of those two is high. If the critic is high, then I'll watch it because there's something I like about it, like an actor or a director or something. But if the critic is low and the audience is high, then maybe the fans who are like me really liked it and I'll watch it anyway, right? So I get the two perspectives, and I appreciate you bringing that up. I just get...
Yeah.
I feel like people default to being negative, which is silly because I'm being negative about it right now. I'm being angry about other people's anger, and it comes from a place of like actual joy with the casting of Bella Ramsey. I think it's really good. I think she's great for that part.
Yeah. Well, Andrew, I just want to say that I sense good in you. Let go of your anger, though. Let go of your hate. Is it too late for you?
Dude, the Jedi might call me a Sith. But
My goodness. Okay. Well, that was good. I'd say go watch it. Yeah, as of recording this, the second episode of Last of Us is out right now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll do like a spoiler talk afterwards. That'd be cool. I'd like to wrap up with that after season 2 is done. Okay. We'll end with the lightsaber fight because I've been thinking about it the whole time.
Great. Very cool.
Okay, so your statement was you think the lightsaber fight in The Acolyte is the best Star Wars lightsaber fight since Revenge of the Sith. So pretty much what you're saying is we're saying lightsaber on lightsaber sword fight is, I mean, since Revenge of the Sith, we're talking the sequels. Last Jedi,
I think live action,
Force Awakens, Rise of Skywalker. I think I'm going to agree with you, but I'm hesitant, and I've been processing this whole time. So the lightsaber fight, there was a really cool guy. I can't remember his name, but he used to train a lot of the old Hollywood sword fight people. Like he did old Robin Hood and like a lot of Errol Flynn stuff. And then he did like Darth Vader. And then he did like a lot of the Lord of the Rings stuff. Like there's a very specific era of that guy and how he trained people to sword fight. The original Star Wars movies, lightsaber fights, there is so much heart there. I think that's why people will like those. I mean, there's so much going on. It's not the lightsaber fight. There's so much going on. There's so much deeper. And I think a lot of people argue that the prequels looked prettier, but lost a lot of that. I would disagree because I think Attack of the Clones, I think, is good guys fighting bad guys. I think you could say that almost. But then you've got, I mean, the Maul. I still think Return of the Jedi is the best lightsaber fight, but the Phantom Menace ending lightsaber fight, incredible.
The Duel of the Fates is like on its own planet. Yeah.
And just like the ancient, like the lyrics are like this ancient poem of these two wizards fighting, and it's like this is literally the ancient enemies of the Jedi. The Sith are coming back, and this is these two ancient foes colliding after a millennia. So I don't know. I get so pumped about that. I'll say yes. Yes, The Acolyte has the best lightsaber fights since Revenge of the Sith.
Thank you, Heath. I appreciate you.
I admitted it. Fine. You got me.
Watch it again. Go watch it.
Oh, wait. What about Darth Vader in Rogue One? Boom. Just kidding. Who listened to lightsaber fight?
Idiot.
All right. Andrew, take us home.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. As always, you can find our show wherever you get podcasts. You can follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us some comments about the reels and episodes that we're posting. We love to hear back from you, some interests that you might have, and some things you might want us to take a look at. We love the engagement. Helps us grow the show, and it's just really, really super fun. So, as always, go see a movie.
Go see a movie.